Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friend Han here, and it is absolutely great to see you here. And today I'm very, very excited to have Rob with us. I think it's been a year ago since I interviewed him, and so he's going to be here sharing some awesome video tips with us. And this is something you want to pay attention to. And what I'm most exciting is this brand new product. You've never seen this before. This is really, really cool. That's gonna change the way you do your video sales letters. This is gonna be really, really cool stuff, and I'm gonna actually let him go to more detail how this is gonna really help you make more money, save more time, and save more money too in the long run as well. And so be very, very exciting about that. So before we get into all this excitement here, let's kind of learn how Rob got started with internet marketing. But most importantly, what did he do exactly to achieve the level of success he has today? So, Rob, could you kind of take over the mic, share your unique internet marketing story with us today?
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for inviting me on to do this interview today. So I guess the way that I got started in internet marketing was through SEO and actually through YouTube videos. So what I was doing was posting affiliate videos on YouTube, and so my first ClickBank check was actually from posting YouTube videos. So that kind of got me started, and I started doing the SEO thing, and then eventually I sort of transitioned into list building and different methods for list building, and then eventually I started sharing the software that I used for list building, and then I've kind of branched out from there. I found my niche, which is creating these software tools that help you to make more money, make tasks easier, automate stuff, and kind of approach, affiliate marketing, list building, in general, just making money online a little bit smarter, clever ways to do things that you couldn't do otherwise. So,
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, so that's the basic story, I guess. That's the quick and dirty story.
Okay, cool. All right, so obviously you have been around. I think what's funny is that we both started with the real estate, and when that kind of collapsed, and we all moved to the internet marketing, and we all find our way to make it in this industry. So obviously you've been around for a long time, and you've been to the up and downs, and win and loses. So what would be some of the top advice you can give it to someone who's just starting out with the internet marketing? At least point into the right direction, what they need to do right now. Maybe some top advices you can give to them right now.
Well, the most basic advice is probably find one thing and focus on it and master it. That'd probably be the number one thing I would tell people. But once you kind of understand that and you've picked your thing, then it would be getting to know your audience, really getting to know who it is you're marketing to, so that you can create a very effective message. Whether you're doing products or whether you're doing affiliate marketing, you have to really understand your audience, and it makes it easier to speak in their language and give them what they want. So if you understand the problems that someone's facing, your job is really to guide them to a solution, whether you're guiding them to an affiliate product or whether you're guiding them to your product. Either way, the better you understand their struggles, their obstacles, their fears, and their hopes and their dreams, the easier it's going to be for you to, show that you can guide them to that solution they need.
Absolutely. So you're talking about customer avatar, right? In other words.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you could go to a forum and people basically complain about their problems all day long, and all you have to do is read through some of their posts, and you'll start to understand exactly what they're feeling, and it'll make it easy. You can just speak right in the language they use, whether it's on, I don't know, a blog post or in a video or anything that you do, and it makes it very easy to connect, and then they trust you, and they'll take your recommendations and buy the products that you recommend and promote.
And I think Amazon products probably going to be very hot in the next couple of months, because a lot of people are going to make a lot of money with it, just the nature of the trend here. So another tip that you can just do this to find the customer avatar is actually go to the Amazon and just read the reviews below it as well.
Yeah,
that's what
I've heard that as well, and I've done that too. It's like people will just get so deep into their thoughts and feelings, and you just by glancing at a few of those reviews, it's like just peering right inside their mind and their hearts, and it gives you so much of an advantage when you're trying to figure out how to tap into that market.
Right, right. So out of all the stuff you can do with internet marketing, why did you pick YouTube? Why did you pick, in other words, why did you pick video as one of the major focus? Was it just by sheer luck? Hey, I made a sale from a ClickBank, or is actually there's reason for you to personally using video as a marketing to whatever the audience you want to market it to?
I mean, to be honest, part of it was just dumb luck.
Right.
Stumbling across it and having some people mention it. But of course, I tried a lot of stuff in the beginning when I started out, and YouTube was the easiest. Like, there was the lowest barrier to entry.
Hmm.
It didn't cost really much at all. I mean, once you figure out a few techniques for creating videos, it seems like it's almost easier to create a video than it is to do pretty much anything else, because you don't have to put a lot of thought in advance. You kind of just
Yeah, especially these days, we have all kinds of video software that when you and I starting have, right?
right.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I remember when I first started out, just doing a screencast was really hard.
yeah, I know.
Look around to try and figure out how is it people are doing this, because I didn't even have the money to buy like Camtasia or something like that. So
Right.
I was like, well, there's got to be a way to do this without buying Camtasia. So yeah, nowadays there's free software out there that'll do all that stuff for you. You know, you could use Bing, or my personal favorite is called Screencast-O-Matic, and it's free to use to do screencasts. It will do all the encoding and stuff. It'll do the little picture-in-picture webcam if you want. It'll upload it to YouTube, and if you buy the yearly membership, which I think is like $15, then
It's $27.
what's that?
I think it's 27 annual
Maybe
pro.
we're thinking of a different one, or maybe they raised their prices, because I just checked this recently. It was like,
Maybe they lowered it. I don't know. I have that too.
well, I kept telling people it was $12, and then someone said, no, it's $15 now, and I said, oh crap, now I have to say 15. But even if it was 27, it like blows. It's so simple. Push a button, and that's just one software. There's a ton of them out there. You know, just makes video easy. So.
Even for people who does not want to get on the cam like face to face like us, I know a lot of people fear of that. You got a software like Video Maker FX that was the #1 selling product on JVZoo, and it's just a lot easier to make. I mean, now you have apps on your phone, on your tablets that can do all kinds of video editing as well.
Right.
So
yeah, I've been messing around with some of the different animation tools. The one that I've been playing around with lately is called Go Animate, and it just does these little cartoons for you, and you don't really have to know how to do anything. You just take your mouse and drag one little guy on there, and he does some little animation, and it's fun, and you just record your voice, upload your voice, and then make the little guy do whatever you want him to do, or you can make it right on the screen or something like that. So.
Cool. That's like play video games.
Yeah,
So, how do all the different type of video you have personally used and tested? What type of video converts the most? Is it there's a whiteboard video that we're seeing all the time, or is it this anime video you're just talking about, or is it like people get on the screen talking kind of video? Or they all works, just depends on the audience and the product you're trying to promote. Can you kind of maybe discuss that a little bit?
Yeah, to be honest, the kind of video that I use the most, and I do a lot of creating videos for like sales pages, so the kind of video that I use almost exclusively is just sort of ugly PowerPoint videos where I'm not on the screen, it's just talking over a PowerPoint. And then sometimes it's mostly words, and then you throw in an image here and there. But sometimes what I'll do on a sales video is the majority of the video will be like that, and then maybe the first minute or so will be something like a whiteboard or some little animation. I mean, you can use any tool. Some of them are free. A lot of them have free accounts, so you can at least sign up, and for your first 2 weeks or your first month, you can play around with it. There have been all kinds of software that's come out lately. You mentioned one. There's a handful of them that are really inexpensive that will create those videos, and you can just create just the first little bit just to get people intrigued. But then after that, all they care about is hearing your voice, and they kind of get.
I think you use whiteboard to capture that attention, right? Because you want them to
Yeah.
listen to what you have to say after that. So you're using that whiteboard animation to really have them glued to the video, right? Is it why you're using it, or?
Yeah, because that's the first thing. I mean, once they get through, I don't know, if you only have the first few seconds to really grab them, and if they stick through that, and then they watch kind of your little intro where you actually tell them what it's all about, and they keep watching after that, then most people just keep on watching for a while, so you don't have to worry so much about um, grabbing their attention. You have to keep it interesting, of course. You don't want to bore them, but yeah, that first few seconds is the most important.
Cool, cool, cool. That's a good tips. So if you guys taking notes, write that down. So my second part of the question is it kind of relate to the kind of video marketing as well. Would you mind maybe teach us a little bit about conversion? How do you really? I think a lot of people still struggling. Yes, they know making videos is powerful. It's probably highest conversion marketing tool out there, but they still doesn't know how to structure the video correctly. They still doesn't know what to say or to do inside the video to make people actually either go to buy the product or whatever the call to action is. Can you maybe elaborating on that, teach us a little bit? How do you personally do it?
Well, the formula that's the easiest is the one that Dan Kennedy talks about in his stuff. Is problem, agitate, solve. So whatever the problem is that they're doing, you bring up the problem, and then you agitate the problem, and then you provide a solution. So you might talk about, hey, are you having trouble losing weight? And then you say, well, if you're a woman, then you might be dealing with this and this. Like if you watch the #1 ClickBank product sales video, it's the Venus Factor. They talk about leptin resistance. So leptin resistance is the reason why it's harder for women to lose weight. So they agitate the problem, and then they provide their solution, which is, and we have this course that shows you, how to overcome this problem and lose the weight that you desire and have this sort of body that you want. And then they talk about, what they want. You want to wear that little black dress and, wear your bikini on the beach or whatever it is, and feel better about yourself and get that body that you had when you were young, that kind of stuff. So generally problem, agitate, solve, and then when you're showing them your solution, you kind of just paint a picture of what they want, and then say, here's a buy button.
Right, and I think a lot of people, I think when people are selling in general, in video especially, is they tend to sell the features. What you mentioned here is the key factor. You say you want to show the end results of the product. I think a lot of people are too much focused on, this tool does this and that, but they don't. What is the final results people are going to getting by using this software or this courses? That is focus, right?
You can even take it one step further, which is, and how's that going to make you feel? Like your end result is that you have a trim, sort of fit body, and then what you can do is now you can wear this little black dress, and you'll feel power and control, and feel better about yourself, and your friends will, how people will see you, and how it's actually going to feel. I don't know. I'm not in that market, so I'm just making stuff up. But
Right.
you know what I mean? Like how it'll actually feel when you start making money online and you're in control of your life and you're no longer controlled by, a boss or
Right.
whatever the market is,
Right, right. And then just again, go back to what you're saying at the beginning of the interview is you got to do your research of your customers, finding out what the customer avatar is, what the biggest problem is, and how do you really speaking to your pain and solve that problem. How to get in there emotionally involved with your products, right?
Right. And it helps if you're in a niche that, like if you're targeting a niche that you're actually in, and maybe it's a problem that you've actually solved yourself, so you understand the struggles that you go through, you understand how it feels when you have the problem, and you also understand what it takes to solve it, and you understand how it feels once you've gotten that solution. And if so people when they're first starting out, maybe they struggle because they want to go into the markets that they see everybody going into, and they don't really know that much about it, and it becomes difficult to really relate to people in that market. So it's, I typically tell people in the beginning, if you have a market that you're really familiar with, then that may be your best bet if there's something you're really familiar with. Otherwise, you just pick one of the big ones and do some research, and figure out, read in the forums and read in the Amazon reviews and read what people are saying, and they'll just tell you, and just try and be empathetic and see it from their point of view and say, okay, I understand how you would feel that way. Now I could communicate that, on a page.
Now, do you using story inside your video sales letter?
Yeah, I really do like to use stories rather than just telling somebody why something is the way it is. That they will resist that. But if you tell a story that demonstrates why something is the way it is, then people will accept it more readily. So if you're just trying to make a point, you could just tell a quick little story that makes the point for you. And then people accept that, and then they come to the conclusion in their heads themselves.
That's the key. You can't make anybody do anything. They have to be the one say to themselves, yeah, he's right, I want to buy this, or yeah, that's the solution I want to have. I think a lot of people are thinking the exactly opposite. Hey, I'm gonna make him to buy this. No, the buyer has to decide he's want to buy this, because nobody can ever change anybody else's mind. So
exactly.
Right?
I mean, if you know the best salesman, and I when I was younger, I worked at a car dealership when I was probably 19 or 20, and one of the guys who was the best salesman, he never seemed like he was selling at all.
Right.
I mean, he seemed like a regular guy. I never made any money as a car salesman, but like I learned a lot from that guy. Some of the stuff he told me that I use to this day, and there's ideas that from him that I actually implemented in this latest thing that I'm working on. And the idea of understanding what somebody's needs are and connecting with them so that when you can speak to them in terms of what it is that they want, and and then using stories and using kind of a little more indirect approach to connect with people rather than being real in your face, like you should buy this because of this and this and this.
Okay, I got one last question before I let you introduce the concept of static sales page versus dynamic sales page here in a minute. So, guys, please stay tuned, watch this, because this is a very, very interesting stuff coming up. Is short video works better than a long sales video, or vice versa, or it depends?
In general, long works better, but it also depends. Like, there's a concept called market sophistication. So if it's somebody who's new to your market, who's not familiar with it at all, I would say that long probably works best. But sometimes when you get real to a market where people are sort of jaded already and they've seen it all, and you're not necessarily providing something super new. Maybe you're providing something that's just a variation of what's out there, and yours is better for whatever reasons. Sometimes they just want you to get to the point faster. So it may not necessarily be better to do a really long sales video, in my opinion, in certain situations. But in most cases, I think long usually does better because you can connect with people better. And I don't know, it takes time for people to let down their walls and kind of bond with you before they'll trust you and give you their money.
Right. So this is kind of setting up the stage for the next question. Is talking about the regular static sales page, video sales, VSL sales page we're looking at, and the new concept you just recently come out with. It's called Dynamic Video Sales Letter. Can you maybe kind of introduce that to what the idea that the concept is?
Yeah. So in terms of a sales video, if you're trying to sell a product, the way that people typically do it, and I think about it like the story that I tell is like this guy who say you're selling a car, right? You're working at that car dealership that I worked at, and say that you go to work and every customer that comes up to you, you have like your ears stuffed full of cotton balls and you're covering your eyes and you're just spouting off the same message to everybody, and it doesn't matter if they're young or old or what their experience is or what they need, if they have a family, or if it's just a young guy who wants a little sports car. You just spout off the same message, like, I don't know, try and sell them a Honda Civic or something. And maybe it's a mother with a bunch of kids that's thinking, I would like a car that is safe, that I could bring my family around, that has good gas mileage. And maybe the other guy is thinking, I want a car that is really fun and sporty and I'll look cool and all that stuff. And if you don't get to know the customer, if you don't ask them questions about themselves, then you're not going to be able to tailor your sales pitch. You know, and this, I told you about the guy, the salesman who sort of pulled me aside and said, you know, if you don't kind of like, I'm going to show you how you're supposed to make a sale. And if you don't understand some basic concepts, you're really not going to make it in this business. And there's a few things that he said, and he had kind of like this crude way about him. So I won't literally say what he said, but it says, you know, if you walk up to a girl in a bar and you want to take her home with you, we'll say like you want to, you don't just walk up to her and say, hey, you want a kiss, right? He didn't say kiss, but you know, you have to kind of romance her first. You have to kind of get to know her and all that stuff before you, quote unquote, make the sale. And he says, you know, selling a car or selling anything is really the same way. You got to get to know somebody first, you know, spend a little time, and then give them what they want. And that's how you can get what you want. Again, kind of a crude way to describe it. But when it comes to your sales pitch, all it really comes down to is asking them questions about themselves, finding out where they're coming from, finding out what it is they want, what they're struggling with, and then addressing those needs and then providing them with a solution that meets their problem, solves their problem, and brings them to where they want to go. So the difference here in a dynamic video sales letter versus a static video sales letter is just like standing there with your bullhorn yelling out the same message to everybody no matter what. Dynamic video sales letter, as they go through the video, it asks them questions, and then it splits them off into different directions, sort of like a choose-your-own-adventure, if you ever read one of those books when you were a kid. And so then you can tailor the experience, the sales experience to everybody. You can tailor how you talk. You can tailor, instead of just having this one message, you can say, you know, you can talk about different goals. You can talk about different reasons why they would buy. You could talk about different obstacles that they face. You know, if it's a fitness product, you know, and it's a young woman who wants to lose 10 pounds so she can fit it into her bikini for her, you know, Cancun vacation on spring break, you're not going to sell her a weight loss product in the same way that you'd sell a middle-aged man, you know, who's struggling at a job, who doesn't have a lot of time, who just wants to, you know, he's 100 pounds overweight, and he just wants to feel better about himself. He just wants to have more energy, less fatigue. He's worried about his health. They could both buy the same weight loss product, right? But you're going to have different reasons. So if you ask them a few questions, you could change your pitch a little bit and sell the product to both of them effectively.
And let's kind of put it in kind of perspective. Let's talk about affiliates first. As affiliates, how do they use this dynamic videos sales letter format to help them promoting affiliate products? I got some couple ideas here too, maybe, but I want to kind of hear from what do you have to say about that first?
Well, so as an affiliate, you're doing exactly the same thing. I mean, you're like basically pre-selling a product, and then you send them over the sales page.
Right.
So it could be a product that just talks about weight loss, right? And it's just a general weight loss product, and you may say, okay, how can I pre-sell them? Well, you're going to pre-sell that girl differently than you would pre-sell the guy. So as they come to your page, you could talk about the goal of, you know, and I have an example I could show you in a bit, but like say it's like your one weird trick to lose weight fast, right? And then you ask them some questions, and then you bond with them based on their answers. You use their answers to help you bond with them so that they will take your recommendation and your reason why this is why you should go to this product. So you could say, okay, if they say that they're women, then you can say things that they would be able to relate to. You know, you're struggling with this because you're in this situation and you're going through this and this, and they say, okay, he understands what I'm going through. And then you segue into, and if that's the case, then, you know, here's a product that you should check out kind of thing, and then here's the link. Whereas if it's, you know, the guy, you would say, okay, you know, as a guy who's struggling with these kinds of things and has these kinds of goals, then these are the reasons why you would want to do this, and here's a product that would help you with that kind of thing. That makes sense.
Right. And I'm thinking about the same thing that you're saying here, but one more tip is if you're by using dynamic video sales letter, definitely going to create higher conversion rate than a one static sales letter maybe the product creator have for the masses, right? So if your dynamic video sales letter is better, there's a way to totally bypass his original sales page. Just go put your dynamic video sales letter here and put a a button below it or click, and bypass that, go straight to the checkout page, because your video is going to do much better than the original product creator. So you skip that steps, because when you send that straight to his sales page again, who knows, you're going to lose a whole bunch of other customer right there, right? So let's just skip that step, go straight to the checkout page, because there's a way to do that.
And that's a good tip. I'm glad you brought that up, because I used to play around with that when I was really heavy into SEO and affiliate sort of SEO kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's like if you put in all this effort to sell them on a product and then their sales page really isn't that good, mm-hmm. you don't want to send them to their sales page. Sometimes it's better to who was it? I think Gary Halbert had one product that he promoted where he said, look, the sales page sucks, but let me explain to you why this is such a good product. Don't even read their sales page, just read this letter and then go buy it.
Right. I think a lot of people are, they quote unquote not really good marketers, but if you are better marketers, if you can pre-sell, you can just skip you don't have to go to that sales page. You can just skip it, go to the checkout page, let them buy.
Right. Exactly.
because you can speak more, you have more connection with the audience you're promoting to, because you gotta know your customer, like first of all, like you say in the beginning. So if you speak a better language, speak to the paying a lot much better, why do you send to their sales page, which is maybe talk to a whole different audience there?
Right.
Bypass that and let's close the deal.
Yeah, exactly.
So just, their software does that out there. I mean, you guys can do some research, find out what that is. So just want to give that tip out. And as a product creator, how do you use this? Let's kind of talk about this a little bit here. I think they're the same coin on the two different sides. So let's talk about as a product creator, how do they use this dynamic page to help them convert more?
Well, that there's going to be different segments of your audience. There's going to be people who are maybe just starting out, maybe people who are more experienced, who may benefit from your product. Mm-hmm. So in the weight loss example, it's pretty easy. It's not, like losing weight, the principles are the same for almost everybody. It's like eat a better diet and exercise more, and put down your fork instead of don't stuff your face so much. Right. But so whatever they teach in the course is probably going to apply to a lot of different people. But you'll find like for example, Venus Factor, which is the #1 product on ClickBank right now, mm-hmm. is geared towards women who are a little bit older. Mm-hmm. So it's not geared towards young women. It's not geared towards guys. They had to pick out which of their audience they were going to target towards, and so they're excluding a whole bunch of people who would be perfect to buy their product. And then there's like Truth About Abs. If you land on that page, he actually does this a little bit. Like when you land on his landing page, it basically asks if you're a man or a woman, and then you go off two different directions, and he shows one message to men and one message to women. And anybody who's sort of studied what Mike Geary does, they know that he buys a lot of paid traffic, and that's his big thing, is paid traffic. So if it's working for him with that amount of traffic, that it's effective. And we've tested these kind of survey approaches in a lot of different markets, and it can raise your conversion rates a ton. The problem with those approaches in the past has been that they're really complicated. Like you have to set up multi-pages, send them off to this stuff, create different videos. Whereas this is kind of taking this process that has worked so well for converting cold traffic and put it all into one video. So it removes all these barriers, it removes any friction, and it's just clicking buttons and watching, and you kind of get sucked into the process, and it's very you don't have that shield that shoots up like, whoa, I don't want to give you my email, or whoa, I don't want to go through this whole process.
Yeah.
One video,
Yeah. The more places they have to click, the more pages they have to go to, the more chances you're going to lose them. So why do that when you can put it in one spot, right?
Right, exactly. And it's all optimized and everything, and it's just, I mean, I think it's going to really change the way that product owners sell their stuff. Because you always have this dilemma. You want to please everybody, right? But if you try and speak to everybody, your message is going to be too general, and
Yes.
you won't make that good of conversions.
Right.
If you pick one target audience, it'll convert to them, but you have to exclude everybody.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you may say, look, okay, if I'm selling a make money online product, I know that this product could work for a total beginner because we have training in there for that. I know it could work for an advanced marketer because our software would help them.
Mhm.
I know that it could work for all these different types of people, and I want a message for each of them, but I don't want to try and please everybody and then have everybody go, well, this is not for me, this is too broad and general, and just ignore it.
Right, right, right.
So I think it's really powerful. I think the people who catch on and understand the power behind this will use it to make so much more money. And when you understand the psychology behind it, you realize there's some very simple tricks that you can use that give you a big advantage. If you've ever seen an affiliate campaign where somebody says, even the most simple personalization, it'll be like, welcome Colorado residents, or some very simple thing on the page, and they do it because it raises the conversions. When you do this, you can custom, even if you ask the most basic questions and you don't even want to create a highly different sales message for everybody, you could just add little bits of customization to each group. So maybe you say men at one point in the video. As a man, when you're struggling with blah, 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 and then you change it, and the other, for the women, you say as a woman, when you're struggling with blah, blah, blah. And that slight little difference increases your conversion rates because you're speaking to them and they feel like you're connecting with them.
Maybe I'm just somewhat brainstorming. Maybe when you do the man, you have a male voice, and when you do the female, you have a female voice, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a kind of thing where it just starts the gears turning, and these ideas just start flowing, and all these different techniques that you can use. If part of your audience is older women, it's probably going to be better to have an older woman speaking the message, talking about the struggle she went through. Mm-hmm. If you do it that way, then you could probably get a pretty big bump in conversion for that group. Right. But again, it's one of these things where you can take it, you can go as deep with it as you want, or just start simple. Mm. Like something as simple as splitting it into men and women, or splitting it into beginners and advanced, or splitting it into a couple of groups is going to put you far ahead of the competitors who only target one audience. Mm. But the way this software works is you can actually split it quite a bit. Like you can have up to 1,000 customized messages. Oh, wow. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like you have to create 1,000 videos or anything like that. You could have, say, like 5 questions, and just because you have 5 questions and a few variations, people will see different combinations, and it'll be like, okay, this second segment now speaks to this people who said this thing. This third segment speaks to this thing. And when you understand the concept behind it, with very little extra effort beyond just what you would normally do, create a sales video, put a little bit of extra effort, it can go so much further in connecting with people and selling your product so much better.
Yeah, I want to give one more tip out as you're talking this idea has come to me. And we know that video sells, but another thing that really sells is a video testimonial, right? So, like you say, there's people from different phases. Let's say make money online. You got beginners, you got intermediate, you got the expert. So let's say you have 3 different type of a video testimonial come back from beginner to intermediate to expert. So if you're using this dynamic video sales letter tool here, you can let people choose. Hey, are you just starting with the internet marketing? You collect that, and then you get somebody actually talking the experience as beginner internet marketing. As part of that sales letter, that's going to convert even more, isn't it?
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that, but the second you said it, it seems so obvious. If you have somebody coming and they're an experienced marketer, and then you show an experienced marketer who's endorsing it and who is using it, mm-hmm. then they're going to connect with that. And if they say that they're just starting out, and you have somebody that says, I was just starting out, I was struggling, mm-hmm. I used this, and here are my results, they're going to connect with them. Mm-hmm. It's really a smart approach. Mm-hmm. And it's the kind of thing that smart marketers like you and people who just understand a few basic sales concepts and persuasion concepts and stuff like that, there's so much you could do with it.
Right.
I like to create, ever since I got into software, I like to create tools that open up the possibilities. you know, that you can get a little bit creative, and then you can go nuts with it. Right. And so it's simple stuff, but stuff that gives you a huge advantage just with some little tweaks here and there, you know. Right. So like this kind of stuff we're talking about, I could discuss this all day long and have fun.
Right. All right, so I was going to ask you, can you give us maybe a little bit background story? Why did you decide, hey, I got this concept. Why did you decide to take this software and launch it to the audience who's watching this, to the masses right now? What is the biggest problem you're trying to help all the internet marketers solve here?
Well, so the funny thing was, back when I was at Car Salesman, struggling, one of the things that he said was, look, all you really need to do is ask people questions. That's all there is to it, is just ask people questions and then just tweak your message for them. You know, and I should have taken his advice back then, and maybe I'd be a successful car salesman today. But, you know, thinking back on that, and now that I've gotten more into selling my own products and having sales pages, and the struggle for me is how to connect with the biggest audience and stop throwing away traffic. Because you figure even a decent sales page is only going to convert at 2 or 3%, you know, to a broad audience. If it's really good. Sometimes you'll see sales pages that have higher conversion rates, but they're usually because they're only targeting a very tiny little audience, very specific group of audience who has, you know, and so they speak exactly to that audience. But when you want to scale it up really big, you want to get beyond the point of just talking to one small audience, and you want to hit the mass market, then it becomes, the struggle is, how do I connect with all these different groups in my audience? You know, the big groups, and not just one. And so that was the obstacle, and just messing around with this and talking with some guys. This is an idea that I've had for several years now, because back when I was doing SEO, I was using surveys and survey tools to help build a list, and it was really powerful. It was really effective, but it was a little bit complicated, and what I always wanted to do was use the same approach where you take them through a little survey and then you send them in different directions on a sales page. So it's been probably 3 or 4 years now that I've been wanting to do this. And originally people did it on YouTube, where they would have videos and then they would have the little calls to action inside the video that linked to another video, and it was really smart. I saw some people that did that almost had like a sales page built out of a YouTube video. But it was really complicated. It was hard to keep track of everything. You know, you'd have to have 20 videos, and they could see exactly what was happening. Like, they know they click on this and they go to another video, and they see all your videos on your page and everything. So they could reverse engineer it, and they'd see exactly what you're doing. So I know it worked really well because I've talked to people who used that approach, and they say they just killed it with conversions. But I wanted to take something like that where you could have full control over it and really make it simple. Like, just before I got into internet marketing, a few years back, a buddy of mine was a usability consultant, so he worked for these huge companies like PayPal and stuff like that. So this guy is super smart. He helps them. Basically, usability is really simple. He doesn't do any sort of site design or anything. He draws like wireframes. So it'll be like boxes on a page. And he tells him how the information flow should be, where you should put your calls to action, where you should put different stuff. And so he's a high-paid consultant, and just to give you an idea, the project that they did shortly before he brought me on was for PayPal, and they redesigned PayPal's merchant services site. Now, PayPal is a massive multinational corporation that does billions of dollars in business. Right. And so for them to get a bump in conversion makes a big difference. Even a small bump is a lot of money. So after they redesigned their merchant services site, they got an increase of 20% in their conversion.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of money.
So they're like jumping for joy. They would have been happy with 0.5%. That would have been a ton of money. In addition, the usage by members rate went up by 40%. And so people who signed up used it 40% more, and that's important because PayPal gets paid by the amount people use PayPal.
Right.
So that's really where the money is. So they were super excited about that. So anyway, that guy brought me on as a partner, taught me everything he knew, and we worked for companies like Wells Fargo, LG, art.com, these big corporations to help them improve their conversions, improve their usability. And I took what I knew, what I learned there, I applied it to the software to make it as easy as possible to use. What I learned about how people use the internet, how they use their computers, best practices. The goal was to make it so easy to use that you don't even need instructions. Now, I still put in instructions in there, but the idea is that it's so intuitive that it's just like there's nothing technical. As little technical stuff as possible. Take the difficult stuff, make it simple. That's my goal. So, yeah. So anyway, kind of a tangent there, but the idea of it's important to me to make if you're going to make a software tool, it should be really easy to use. Otherwise, why do it?
I think you're trying to take a Windows converting to Apple, right? Sort of the Apple approach.
Exactly. And I could talk about that too. I mean, Apple has pretty decent usability, but sometimes they sacrifice stuff by making it all flashy and fun, and that you remove options. Well, the idea behind this is that you keep it flexible, you keep it powerful, and you don't add too much to where it's confusing people or makes it difficult to learn how to use.
Right. So. Yeah. So I think if you're an Apple fan, you probably agree with me. Most of the application on there, you don't have to learn it. It's always intuitive. You just know exactly what you need to click on to make it happen. So I think that's your approach as well. So let's talk about. Do you have maybe a couple minutes, kind of give us a sneak preview what this thing do?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So should I just hop in? I'll do a screen share right now.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me see. All right, let me just. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So I can't see your face while I'm typing, so I'll just tell me if I do anything weird on camera.
Okay.
Okay, so here we are in the software, and I prepared something. So all you need to do is click Create Dynamic VSL. And, whoops, let me log back in. Okay, so all you need to do from your dashboard is click Create Dynamic VSL. There's nothing to install. Everything is hosted on the Google servers. So we use the Google server network for speed, scalability, reliability. So you can scale stuff up. You don't have to install any software on your computer or anything like that. You just use this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a fitness example. And so it's very simple. So you start off with your intro video. And I've got some videos prepared, and I'll show you. So you grab your video URL wherever you uploaded your video. You paste it in here. And then you add a question. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this into 4 groups. I'm going to use 2 questions to split it into 4 groups. So I'm going to ask them, first of all, are you a man or a woman?
I'm a man, last time I checked.
Now we're going to add some answers. We're going to say man is one answer and woman is one answer. So if they choose man, we want to show them this video for men. And I'll show you these videos in just a moment.
Now, does this only play self-hosted video, or does it also embed YouTube videos as well, or how's that work?
We've gotten some requests since creating this to use YouTube videos, and so we're adding that as we speak.
Okay. Cool.
So by the time people see this, it may already be in there.
Okay.
If not, very shortly it will be. So you can paste in your YouTube URL. So it should be in there soon. So okay, so they will then watch. So if you just wanted to do one sales video for men and one for women, you'd just put it in there and you'd be done. In this case, I want to do a sales video. I want to split it into 4 groups. So now I'm going to add a question for the men, where after they say I'm a man, next question, and this is based on some stuff that was taught by, I forget who taught it, but they asked the question, do you want to look better in clothes or naked? And what that reveals to you is what they want, like what their goals are. You know, if somebody's quite a bit overweight, they're not going to say, I want to look better naked. They're going to say, I want to look better in clothes. But if it's like, if it's the woman that wants the beach body, she of course is going to say naked. If it's the guy who wants to get ripped abs, he's going to choose naked, not enclosed. He wants to look good on the beach, right?
It's kind of way to filter. Are they in the expert level, or are they just starting out at the beginning phase of losing weight?
Right, exactly. So we got enclose, and the simplest way to do this is just one question at a time. So you add the answers. We got enclose, and we've got naked. And then for the women, we're going to ask the same thing. Whoops. Where was I? Let me see here. There we go. Women. So copy the women video, and then we
Add questions, right?
Click. There we go. Confused myself for a second. So we're going to ask the same question, which is, do you want to look better enclosed or naked? And we add an answer. We say enclose. Add an answer, and we say naked. And for the men who want to look better naked, we have a video that now speaks to them. And for them, you would talk about the beach body. You would talk about getting ripped. You would talk about six-pack abs, things like that. For the men who say they want to look better in clothes, you would talk about having more energy, waking up refreshed rather than being fatigued. You would talk about, and you would show images like if you've ever seen those Jared Subway commercial ads where the guy is like basically an average-looking guy, but he's standing in these huge pair of jeans, and he's like holding the waistband out. They're not targeting people who want to get super fit. They're targeting people who just want to be quote-unquote normal. So you can really tap into these powerful psychological factors instead of just doing this skin-deep approach. And then for the women, there's the naked video. Same thing. You talk about a little black dress. You talk about make all their friends jealous. All the girlfriends jealous as all the guys' attention is on them. You could pick whatever the idea is, whatever their hot buttons are. For the women who say look better in clothes, again, you talk about, feeling better about themselves and having self-confidence and maybe health concerns and things like that. Just tailor your message to them. And the way that we do it, I'm not going to put in a mobile URL right now, but it doesn't make sense on mobile to show a bunch of questions on a tiny little screen. So instead what we do is just have a little default URL. So you put the standard video sales that are here for mobile, just so you don't have to worry about mobile, because there's so many different devices that it just gets complicated. And then you just click Save, and it gives you an embed code. And if we head on over to, it's taking a moment to load, because I think running my internet connection while we do all this is. So you grab your code to publish it. I'm going to make it autoplay, and it gives you a little embed code just like YouTube would. Right. And you run on over to, say, your WordPress site or HTML code or whatever. You paste it in there, and you're good to go. And so I'm going to preview this, and we'll see how it works. And I don't know, you'll tell me if you can hear my microphone. I'm going to point my little Yeti microphone here at the computer, and hopefully you can hear it.
Okay.
Let me just twist it here. Hi, I'm Rob, and a couple of years ago... You can hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is only maybe a minute long, so we'll just go through it real quick. Across a weird trick that helps people with a handful of specific body types to lose weight fast. Now, before I show you this weird trick, I feel I must tell you, it doesn't work for everyone. Like I said, it only works best for specific body types, but if you do have one of these body types, it can work wonders for you. Also, depending on which of these body types you do have, the trick works a little bit differently. So real quick, let me ask you a few questions to determine your body type and find out if this trick will work for you. And if it will, I'll show you exactly how you can best use it to lose the weight fast, okay? First question, are you a man or a woman? So then the video asks them if they're a man or a woman. And if you choose man, then I've got a short video that asks the next question, but it uses some psychological techniques to connect with the men. So you'll see right here that I talk about the struggles that I face as a man. So I'm already starting to use some persuasion tactics to bond with them, know, like, and trust. If they're a woman, it talks about I'll just go down the woman approach, and you can hear what I say as a woman, and then or I say as what I say to women, and then I'll discuss it real quick, and then we'll go into the next segment.
Excellent. This trick is especially effective for women because women face a unique problem when it comes to losing weight. It's called leptin resistance. Leptin is the hormone responsible for helping your body to lose weight. However, women's bodies have 3 times the resistance to leptin as men. Luckily, this trick can help with that, if you have the right body type, of course. Okay, next question. Let's talk about your immediate weight loss goals. Do you want to look better in clothes or look better naked?
Okay, so here we go. What we've done is, for the men, they got a video that talks about, I say as a man, I don't typically, I shy away from most weight loss programs because they're not realistic or practical, or like I kind of bond with the men. For the women, I use the approach that we just went through, which was problem, agitate, solve. So we talk about their problem, which is difficulty losing weight. We agitate the problem, show a reason why it's even worse, which is leptin resistance for women, and it can be custom. For men, we may talk about a different problem that only men face. So you agitate a specific problem based on whatever they just told you. So and then
and a couple of things I saw is the word unique problem, that you specifically color that different. That demonstrating that you understand their problem, their unique problem. Also, you went ahead educating what that, I don't even know how to pronounce that word, the leptin problem is. That demonstrates your authority as well, that you understand what leptin is. And those are the key factors you need to make it sales. And that's what I saw in there.
Yeah, there's a lot in there, and it was very simple. You've got the authority factor, you've got a mechanism, which is causing their problem, and so it gives them something to focus on. It's like a common villain. There's all kinds of things you could talk about, and it's just such. And this is like a tiny little video that we barely did anything. And now the women that choose naked here on the screen, now you can show them a video about women who have been set up, like they understand the leptin resistance thing. You know what their problems are, what their goals are, what their hopes and dreams are. And you can just tailor your message to them. And now instead of having one message that speaks to these 4 different groups of people and doesn't really connect with any of them, or only connects with one of them, now you can have a video that connects with all 4 of them really effectively. And so if we click on one of these, it then I don't have any videos prepared, but you'll see.
And now we would go into the sales pitch for the women who want to look better naked.
So simple as that. You have your video and you just tweak it a little bit to say, as a woman who's struggling with blah, 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 you want to, look better in your little black dress and this, and the problem is leptin resistance and da, 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 da. Go through your pitch and then say, and we've got this new product. Here we have the example, weight loss simplified, and it will help women, like yourself with this and this and this. And you make your standard sales pitch, but you just tailor it to them. And then you might have the one for the men who are overweight or want to look better in clothes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So
right. This is when you make that buy button appears, right?
Right, exactly.
Magically appears.
Exactly. So that's pretty much it. The software is so simple, and we did it on purpose so that there was no learning curve. The hardest thing is like if you decide to get really deep into it and have a ton of questions with a lot of different answers and a whole bunch of really customized videos, then you just have to keep track of copying and pasting in the right spot. So that's about the only thing that could get even remotely complex. Aside from that, it's just, you saw the quality of the video that I made. I made those in 10 minutes. It was just a PowerPoint with a screencast, and I started off with the one weird trick thing because that works. You talk about what's one strange trick to make money fast from home. One weird trick to get more traffic. One weird trick to I don't know, like meet the girl of your dreams, or one weird trick to to combat social anxiety. You know what I mean? And then you may talk about, okay, well, have you had social anxiety your whole life, or is this new? You know, and whatever the aspects are in your niche, and then talk about your product. You know, or if you're promoting an affiliate product, talk about the affiliate product in their language, talking about their hopes and dreams, talking about what they want to achieve, talking about the cost. So, you're the first person I've shown this to. So I haven't done any other interviews or anything. So hopefully I explained it well.
I think you did. I think you should come out course teaching you how to structure those questions as well.
Yeah. I probably will. You know, we're probably going to do like a mastermind or something like that for people who want to join, where we get really deep into the psychology for people that want to like get super deep with it. And of course, there will be training for members where it's like it'll give them some examples, it'll give them some ideas, and so the way that it's going to be done is we're doing this as a beta launch. So this is first movers. You get a discount, a significant discount. There's going to be basically no limits on anything. So in the future, it's going to be a service that has levels. You know, you have the basic level, you have the premium level, and people will have to pay more for more traffic, for more videos. But as somebody who is one of our first users who gets in during our limited sort of beta launch, you get unlimited. You can create as many dynamic VSLs as you want. There's no limit to the amount of traffic. So if you have a website that you want to scale up really big, we're not going to put any sort of bandwidth limitations or anything like that. You're good to go. And of course, it's fast because it's on the Google servers. So, it's reliable. When's the last time you saw Google go down? And it's actually the video player is separate. This is a little technical, but we designed it so that it was all the database and all that software and stuff that runs the Dynamic VSL is kept apart from our members area. So even if our web host crashes, and you can't log in the members area because, I don't know, web hosts go down from time to time,
right,
your Dynamic Video Sales Letter will still work because we wanted it to just keep on working. Even if the worst possible thing happened, it's going to keep on running. So people who get in early, they get basically no limitations. It's kind of a thank you as being one of our first movers, and we're going to be working together with our beta members to try and get them results as quickly as possible, so we can tack on their testimonials to our sales videos and stuff like that, and just help people to succeed as quickly as possible. So there'll be training. We'll be taking feedback from people. If we've got a lot of feature requests, then we'll add the features. Like, for example, the YouTube video feature. It didn't originally have that, but several people asked if we could do that, so we're implementing that. So we're listening to people very closely to their feedback. We're going to be answering people's questions and adding any training as we go, just to make everything as simple as possible, and just make it easy for people to make money with the software.
All right, so let me just kind of go straight into get more detail about the launching of itself. So let's talk about the name of the product again, time to launch, and who is going to be really benefit for getting this.
Okay, so we are launching. Today is Sunday, the 21st. So we're launching tomorrow, the 22nd, Monday at noon Eastern time. And sorry, what was the second question?
The name of the product and who's going to be really benefit for getting this.
Okay, so Dynamic VSL is the name of the product, launching tomorrow at noon Eastern time. And the people that it will definitely benefit the most are anybody who wants to connect with more of their audience on a one-to-one level. So of course it's going to work very well for product creators. If you sell a product, it's going to work very well. If you're an affiliate and you have an audience that you want to not just speak a broad message to your whole audience, you want to get more focused on different parts of your audience and really connect with people, then there are definitely ways that you can use it and take it a step above just standard video. Like, video, of course, is awesome. You can engage with people. This takes it to the next level where you can engage even deeper with people. Connect with whatever their hopes and dreams are. Connect with whatever their biggest fears and their biggest obstacles are. So that's generally it. It's people that want to go a little bit above and beyond what everybody else is doing, so that they get a lot better results, you know.
Right, and I tell you what, if you spend an extra couple of minutes with this, it's going to be totally worth it in the long run.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's people that want to be like, if you put in a little more effort in the beginning, it pays off really big in the long run. And this is for people who want to be a little more smart with their marketing. Put in just, I mean, it's not really for lazy people. I mean, if you're just totally lazy, you know, just create a sales video, and you know, maybe you would never even finish a sales video if you're too lazy. But you know, if you're actually going in there and putting in the work to create a video in the first place, and then you just put in a little bit of extra work to make it that much better, then it's, you know, it's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion. So.
Right. So, all right. So let's talk about what exactly is inside the front end offer. What is the starting out price, and how many days are you gonna keep this launching opening special price period? In other words.
Okay. So the regular price for the software is going to be $97 per month, but for the beta phase, we're doing a discount. We're offering it for half price, so you can get in for $47 per month. In the future, I don't know how much more we're going to go. We may even have higher levels above that. But as we add more features and stuff, you know, we'll continue to raise the price. But for now, anybody that gets in can get in for that price. How long we're able to keep it open is not totally set in stone yet, because it could really blow up, you know, and it's not anything there's nothing out there like this. So if it starts to blow up really fast, we may have to shut down sooner. I'm thinking we'll be able to keep it open at least a couple weeks, hopefully. Maybe longer, but hopefully at least a couple of weeks. But, you know, I don't have a huge team, so if suddenly 10,000 people join, you know, it's not like we have to be able to give everybody the help that they need.
Right.
You know? And so we'll have to shut it down if we get overwhelmed, so that we can focus on the members.
Right.
Because it's new, you know. It's like there's things that we haven't thought of. You know, there's approaches that we haven't thought of, and that our members or beta members are going to think of. You know, like you just pointed out, custom testimonials. And it's as soon as you said it, it's like, wow, it's really smart. And so we can throw some training in there on that. You know, some tips, some conversion tips. Use custom testimonials. People may come up with ideas for ways to use it for different markets, for different, you know, affiliate marketing, for whatever different approaches they use that I've never thought of. And so we can add training in there, and maybe we add features in to sort of support stuff that, you know, people think of even cooler stuff to do. Maybe we add a little feature that helps with that, as long as it doesn't make anything complicated, you know.
Right. So as of right now, if they get it, let's say today or tomorrow when this thing opens, they're going to get the unlimited usage of unlimited video, unlimited campaigns they can create. If they, let's say they're lazy, they didn't get right now, later on they're going to have to pay the premium price for those, right?
Right, exactly. If it's even available. So okay. Yeah, it'll be double price later on, and as we add more features, we may add levels to where the price is even more. So as we've done the research to try and look and find stuff that does what this software does, we couldn't find anything that really did exactly what it did. And the closest stuff that we did find was very expensive and very difficult to use. And the way they designed it, didn't convert well. You know, like you saw our videos, they're very simple. The buttons are very clear. You know, it's just natural. And the stuff that I found out there was just I don't know. I couldn't, like, because I wanted to do this originally, and I couldn't find something that would do it for me. So I built something to do it. And so yeah, I mean, and anything even remotely close to this, they charge a ton of money for it. It's for like corporations and big companies who know the value of this kind of stuff, and they have teams that are like, you have to be a programmer to use their dang software, but they put in the money because the end result is so profitable for them. This allows you to just do it. Like, you saw what went into it. It's like there's practically nothing at all in creating one of these. So, sorry, that's a big long answer. But
It's all right. So they're gonna. So that's the front end offer. What is? Do you have any OTOs or?
yeah, we have a mastermind that we're putting in. The pricing's not set yet, so I'm not totally sure on the pricing, but we will be offering a discount on that. There's not like a ton of upsells. There's one upsell to join our mastermind. If you want to get in, like work real closely with us, have direct access to myself, to other members, then that's cool. If you want to go it alone, that's cool too. Then just pass on the mastermind. But it's there in case you need it. And again, same thing with that. We'll keep that open as long as we can. I mean, if it starts to get way too many people, then I only have so much time in the day, so we'll be able to manage it. Same thing. But if you get in during this early beta launch, then you should be fine. So.
All right. So let's. I think that's pretty much all the questions I need to ask you here. But got one last question. As people watching this, and as a smart internet marketer they are, they know that instead to make a one video fits all the audience, they really need to personalize that the video fits all the different needs and demographic for the customer to make more sales, more conversions. It's just a better way to do marketing. Period. Not video marketing, but all kinds of marketing you need to do. So they want to buy this, they want to get this, but everybody has a little voice on the back of their head tell them don't taking action. The negative voice, what I call. So my question to you, Rob, is that what makes this product so unique? They should absolutely grab during this special launching period.
For me, when I got into marketing, I started out just trying to do, I don't know, what everybody else was doing, and just this, mass approach, just focusing on trying to get a lot of traffic and doing all this stuff. And it became clear to me pretty quickly that the best way to make a lot of money online is to focus on conversions, focusing on doing better than everybody else, going above and beyond what everybody else is doing. Whether it's an affiliate page, a sales page, just make your page work a lot better than everybody else's. And then traffic's easy. I mean, it's like there's tons of traffic. If your stuff makes money, there's unlimited traffic. If your stuff doesn't make money, then it's going to be hard to get traffic. You try and get an affiliate, if you've got a product sales page that doesn't convert, they're going to just be pissed off at you, and they're never going to promote anything of yours again. But if you put out a product that converts like crazy, you just mentioned it. They're like, please tell me when your next product launches, because I know I'm going to make money. If you're doing paid traffic and your stuff really converts, that you can get ROI. You can make money, make more than you spend. So focus on the stuff that's going to make you a lot more money on your pages. Focus on the conversions. That's why I would get on this, because it's just a smarter way to approach marketing. And you have more power, you have more control, and you can make so much more money and scale up so much bigger.
Right.
I should probably mention is the guarantee.
Oh yeah.
We're doing a special guarantee. We're guaranteeing that you will at least double your conversion rates, or we'll give you double your money back. So if you have a sales video right now that's you'd like it to convert better, create a dynamic VSL following our specifications that we lay out. Pretty simple. If you don't at least double your conversions, then we'll double your money back. So if there's anything that's keeping you from joining, and of course, we have a 30-day refund policy for people that just hate the software, or, don't like my voice or my hair or whatever. Like you can always you can always cancel or whatever. That's fine, no big deal. And we'll stay friends and all that stuff. I won't hold it against you. But yeah, that's how confident that we are that this will make you more money, that your sales videos will convert better.
So you get the double money back guarantee, and another reason you should get it now, because the price is going to go up in the future, and just want to make sure we have everything here that I've written down.
Oh, and something that they should know is if they choose to sign up, make sure that they add our email to their address book or whatever they have to do so they get our email, because we're going to be sending out a lot of training in the beginning, and we're going to be taking a lot of feedback. We want to make sure that everybody, we help people go down the right path, any updates that we have, we want to send them out to everybody. So the way that I'm going to be communicating with everybody is through email. That's the way that we're going to deliver most of the training. And as we add more training, you'll get emails that tell you, okay, now we've put out a training on how, like we're creating a training on how to create an effective dynamic sales hook. Because that first video that says that one weird trick, to help you lose weight fast, that's based on your specific body type, it's a dynamic hook. It's approaching someone from the angle of, positioning so that they have to answer some questions to get a real custom thing for them. So there's some psychology behind that, and so we're going to explain some approaches you can use. That's an example. They're going to want to make sure that they watch their email address to get all those trainings that come out. So they see when we have new updates and things that we add, if we're like, oh, we came up with some cool new feature that doubles your conversions, check it out, they'll know.
Cool. Awesome. All right, so guys, on that note, Rob, thank you so much for sharing this awesome brand new tool for us and to help us with conversions and basically taking your video marketing to the next level, and that's pretty cool. And thank you for sharing the awesome tips with us today as well. So before we leave here today, do you have maybe a final word of wisdom you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I mean, just don't half-ass stuff. If you're gonna do it all the way.
Right.
That's my best advice. Get committed, have some convictions, and don't touch your toe in the water. Like, if you're gonna go for something, go for it, and that's how you're gonna get it. So that would be my best advice ever. I never really accomplished much until I said screw it and went all out, made my goals, and went after them. So.
Awesome. And so, guys, thank you so much for watching this, and be very exciting about this tomorrow. And kind of watch out for my email tomorrow when this thing launches, so you can go grab this. And kind of stay tuned, watch a very short demo or / sales video about this as well, so you know exactly what you'll be getting here. Rob, thank you so much again, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon.
Absolutely, man. Thanks.
All right. Cheers.